In this liturgy, we celebrate the feast of the Epiphany of the Lord. Epiphany is the feast for those people who are still finding their way. It is for those who are tired of darkness but still searching for light. It is for those who do not have everything figured out but refuse to stop hoping. This celebration tells us something deeply consoling. God does not wait for us to arrive before He reveals Himself. He meets us while we are still on the road. Epiphany is God showing up, not after everything is fixed, but right in the middle of our journey. In our first reading, the prophet Isaiah says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come." The prophet Isaiah is speaking to people who are exhausted. They are not confident. They are not celebrating. They are surrounded by loss, uncertainty, and long waiting. But God says to them, "Arise," not because everything is solved, not because the darkness is gone, but because God has arrived. This is important for real life. Many of us wait to feel strong before moving forward. We wait for stress to disappear, problems to be fixed, or fears to settle before we hope again. But Epiphany teaches us a different truth. Light does not come after the darkness is gone. Light comes into the darkness. If you feel tired, unsure, or stuck, God is not waiting for you to fix everything first. He is already present, inviting you to stand up again, not in your own strength, but in His light. In the second reading, St. Paul announces something radical. He said, God is not just for one group, not just for the religious, not just for those who feel worthy. God is for everyone. This means God is present in your work, not only in church. God walks with families, not only saints. God reveals Himself even to those who feel unsure, unqualified, or far away. Many people today quietly feel unworthy before God. I am too busy. I have failed too much. I am not holy enough. Epiphany answers clearly. No one is excluded from God's light. God comes before perfection. Grace comes before understanding. Belonging comes before everything else. In the Gospel reading, the Magi shows us that they were coming from a long journey. The Magi were not warriors. They were not saints. They were seekers. They did not have all the answers. They only had a star, a small sign pointing them forward, and they followed it step by step. Sometimes they were confident, sometimes they were confused, sometimes they took wrong turns, like when they went to Herod instead of Bethlehem. But they kept going. This is how faith usually works in real life. God rarely gives us the whole picture. He gives us just enough light for the next step. Faith is not about having certainty. It is about having direction. And where do the Magi finally find Christ? Not in a palace, not in power, not in comfort. They found Him in a simple home, a child in humility. This tells us something important. God often shows up in ordinary places, daily responsibilities, quiet sacrifices, simple acts of love, and faithful choices no one applauds. After meeting Jesus, the Gospel also tells us that the Magi went home by a different road. Why? Because encountering Christ always changes direction. Not all at once, not perfectly, but slowly, honestly, and deeply. Epiphany asks us a simple question. After meeting Jesus, are we willing to walk differently? To choose hope instead of despair? Truth instead of convenience? Light instead of darkness? Brothers and sisters, Epiphany is not about a star long ago. It is about God revealing Himself today. God reveals Himself when we choose hope instead of giving up. When we follow light, even with question. When we keep walking, even when the road is unclear. You do not need perfect faith, only a willing heart. You do not need all the answers, only the courage to take the next step. Because the same God who placed a star in the sky has already placed His light in your life. God has shown up. The light is already here. All that remains is for us to follow it one step at a time. Amen.